Welcome back to Access All Areas, guys. We are live on Fubar Radio and we are joined by the lovely Bradley, fresh out of the Celebrity Big Brother house. Brad, how are you, babe?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me on the Fubar Radio.
You're so welcome. We're so glad to have you in it because we've literally been living and breathing every minute, and Access has been all about Celebrity Big Brother. So firstly, we've got to start. How is life post coming out the house? Crazy?
I think I had the best outcome possible because I got a backdoor eviction and then I had 24 hours without my phone, but I was able to process everything. Like, what the hell was I doing for these past 3 weeks? Like, I was sat there processing. I had a chaperone, Shanna, who was absolutely amazing, and we just spoke with each other. I was just like, because she couldn't tell me all the information about what was happening on the outside world, but I was just sat there going, what have I been doing? And it let me sit in my thoughts, and I was like, I've had the best time ever. I had the best friendships in there, the best task. Everything was just incredible, and I had time to process that before my late in live when I went on to Thursday, when everyone saw the cruel eviction, as people say.
It's a nice way to come out, though. Like you say, it's nice that you've seen positive in that and that you've come out at a happy point. But the nation's heart broke. I have to tell you, watching that, there was actually a lot of tea. Like, I was welling up.
I know, because it was such a
when
shock.
AJ walked out, I was like, no.
I know, and I always kind of feel it's lovely. Like, you would have come out to so many cheers.
Oh my God, yeah.
So it would have been really, I feel like it would have been lovely for you, but how do you feel about that? Like, would you have been terrified walking out to a crowd? I
think part of me in the back of my head the whole time, it was like, oh my God, are people going to boo me? Are people going to cheer me? And I think it was the first eviction, and I whispered to Fern before the eviction happened. I was like, I'm waiting to hear get Bradley out. I always have this voice in the back of my head sometimes that's like negative voices that I think from the past, and it's always there, and it's like, people are not going to accept me, people are not going to like me for who I am. And I said to Fern, and she was like, shut up, that's your past, shut up, don't let them get to you type thing. And then I didn't hear it, and I was like, oh. And then when I got evicted, obviously the backdoor eviction, it was a bit like, oh, everything I've done, I've stayed true to myself. I'm very happy about what I did in the house, but maybe people didn't warm to me as they warmed to other people. And then when I came out to the house, it wasn't the reaction. It was a shock, and I was like, oh my God, that's probably the best possible outcome, to have a shock people that I left in that way. 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure.
Were you worried when you saw that you were getting evicted? Like, did you think, has something happened that I need to be pulled out of the house right now? Or did that ever go through your mind?
No, I think a lot went through my mind, actually. I was about to say no, but a lot was going through my mind. Because it was like, when that morning me and David were in the garden and we were speaking about, and David and me were like, there's not going to be 6 of us here Friday. And I was like, yeah, there's not going to be 6 of us here Friday. And as time went on, it was like Wednesday was the last time for another person to get evicted.
Okay.
And we were sat there, and then suddenly this rendezvous came out at like 7 p.m, 8 p.m, quite late in the evening. It was dark outside. And then as people were meeting their loved ones, I was like, this doesn't feel right. And then as I was the last one, I went, oh, this doesn't feel right. And I whispered to David, I was like, I'm either going to see a loved one or I'm going to get evicted.
Wow, so you kind of knew.
Yeah, kind of deep down. And then I think that's why my reaction was so like, oh, because I had it in my head, I was like, I'm the last one. This is the last time someone's getting evicted. And David laughed and was like, yeah. And then I went in, and then obviously I got evicted. And that's why he was like, no, because I think his no was more of a no, like, he knew. This was a no of like, oh my God, he knew what was coming type thing.
Oh, God.
So, babe, I wanted to ask you because, and I'm sure you've seen all in the press and especially on social media, but Ekin-Su, she's received a lot of backlash from the show and especially from withdrawing from appearing at the finale.
Yeah.
What do you make of this? Because she's come out and she said that she feels that she was given the villain edit. Do you think that's true? And what's your thought on everything that's going on, both in press and on social right now?
I think I haven't watched anything back yet as such, but in that house, all I can say from my point of view, Ekin-Su was so kind, so loving, and in the house, I felt like I was seeing her, and maybe that wasn't portrayed on camera. I don't know what was portrayed, but with me and her, it was like I made such close bonds with Coulson, Nikita, David, that I was comparing those like close bonds, like I could see like me being best friends with them for the rest of my life, to Ekin-Su, who I didn't have those deep conversations with, I didn't have those meaningful conversations with, but in the house she was so loving, so kind, and she was always open for a conversation. So I don't know where, I think I said this before, it was like I don't know where this persona of her being fake has come from, but what I saw, I think I saw the real Ekin-Su, and maybe if it wasn't the real Ekin-Su, what I saw I really enjoyed being around.
like, I feel like the persona that people have seen from watching it was that she was so close to Louis Walsh. Like, I think for the first few weeks, we saw her sat with Louis Walsh nearly in every scene where we saw Ekin-Su. And then when he got the booze on one of the live evictions, she then, it looked like, now it could have just been edited this way, but it looked like she changed tact and she didn't want anything to do with Louis. And they were showing some clips where Louis was trying to chat to her. And then she kept on going, oh, go away, Louis. Like, just go away. No, give me space. Give me space. And it just made it look like she all of a sudden realised that he's not popular. She wanted to distance herself from him. But in saying that, I don't think she deserves the hate that she got when she came out. It's a reality TV show at the end of the day. And it has to be light and shade. They have to make people 100%. Look good. They have to make people look bad. And she's a nice girl. Like, she'd done nothing wrong.
Because I think naturally, maybe at the beginning of the experience as such, I gravitated towards, obviously, Dave and Nikita Coulson and Zizi and Marisha. I feel like that was a natural thing. And maybe her natural thing was to gravitate towards Louis and Sharon and stuff like that. Maybe that was... I don't think she was being fake in that thought. I think it was just a natural thing. Yeah. And obviously, as all of that not that group, I don't want to say that, but like them, people like Lauren started going, people started like everyone was going one by one. Maybe then she was like, oh, I need to then make more of an effort with everyone else. And I don't think that was her being fake. I don't think that was being her like being fake, as I said, but I think it was just a natural human response to, oh, I've made a really close bond with these people, but now they're slowly going, let me start speaking with other people. But I don't think she was a villain in that case or being fake. I think it was just like a human response to that situation because all of her friends were leaving.
And let's talk Mrs. O. What was she like to live with? Because when I saw she was going in there, I was going to say to ITP, I'm going for free. To live with Sharon. I love that woman. Is she as amazing as I want her to be?
Oh my, when I remember sat in like, you know, on the launch night and then Louis and Sharon walked in, I was like, this is normal. This is absolutely normal. Like this, I watched them growing up. I was like, this is so normal. And then when obviously me and Sharon, I think me and Sharon got close before me and Louis got close. Obviously, me and Louis, we got close while people were going type thing because it was just 8 of us in the house, so we started having these more conversations. But when me and Sharon, we just got along straight away. I feel like she's the type of person who always asks questions, and I feel like that's the great person to be around. She's camp as hell. Like she is camp. And like
maybe that's why we love her.
Maybe it is. But it was like I remember one day I walked in out the garden into the living room. She was just stood there washing up by herself, and I was just like, Sharon Osbourne's washing up my mug right now. What the hell's going on?
Man.
And then we spoke, and then I think as days went on, she understood me and I understood her, and we just got this bond. And yeah, I love her to pieces. She was so amazing because she like helped around the house when no one wanted to help around the house, but she was washing up and we were like, no, Sharon, sit down. But
see, that's funny because everyone said, well, a lot of people have said, won't say everyone, but a lot of people have come out and said Louis didn't lift a finger.
Yeah.
So it's hilarious to hear that Sharon O is washing up cups like in marigolds with the old fairy liquids.
Yeah.
And Louis won't lift a finger.
But Sharon's not even just washing up, she's washing up in these outfits that are worth so much money.
Well, more than people's houses.
Yeah, she's just there like, oh, no, it's fine. I'm like, Sharon, sit down.
Stop.
But no, she would always help out a lot.
And what was the jewellery like? Diamonds? Big rings?
Like, one night, I remember she was washing up, she had these pearls, these massive, and I have these little pearls, these probably fake, they're fake pearls. She had these massive pearls and these pearls all around here, and I remember just going to Fern, how much do you think her outfit is? And she was like
they're not Claire's accessory.
No
shade to Claire's.
No, they're not plastic. They are.
It's going to be all Chanel and Gucci and all that.
Chanel outfits,
and her little marigold.
Was you sad when she went?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
I feel like she was at part of it. I feel like I don't want to say there was 2 groups. There wasn't really 2 groups, but I feel like us, the Wash boys, and like Zizi and Marisha, I feel like we all made a really tight bond and we understood each other, we loved each other. And I feel like Lauren and Louis and like Sharon and Ekin-Su, Levi, they all had a set, like, they had it was kind of a bit like a more mature group type thing.
Yeah.
But Sharon was like the magnet between us where we would have different interactions. Like, I got really close with Levi, I got really close with Sharon, I got really close with Lauren. It was like she was the spokesperson to overlap those groups.
She was basically the mother of the household, like
100%.
brings everyone together.
Like the glue.
Like the glue. And she
Yeah.
also had her own bedroom, right?
Oh
So,
my
like,
God, yes.
how often did you see Sharon? Like, what time did she rise? What time did she go to bed? I want to know it all.
We'd see her quite a lot of the day. It was like we would wake up, say, I'm not sure what time, but it would say about like 9 a.m. type of thing. And then she would come in maybe like an hour later. But yeah, we'd see her. She was probably just lying in bed because the lights come on and everyone's like, God, do I get up? Do I not? And then, So when the lights go on and no one moves, they then put us like an air horn on to get you out of bed, and then you're like, oh, this is the time to get up. So they probably did that to Sharon in her own room, but we never saw it.
I doubt it.
I doubt it.
I've just got whoever her manager is. Well, she manages Ozzy, so maybe she manages herself. Maybe she's like Kris Jenner.
Yeah.
I mean, negotiation-wise, that agent's incredible. To wangle you your own room,
Yeah.
allegedly 500 grand for 5 days.
Iconic.
Iconic, no tea, no
Yeah.
shade.
We're trying to start a fundraiser to get her to stay longer.
To stay the 3 weeks. But tell me now, did she have an hairdresser sneaking in? Because there was times she was walking around the house and she's had a blow dry done. I know she had. I used to be an hairdresser.
So there was when we were in the house, there was a thing, and it was like, oh, Sharon's got her makeup and hair team in there, but it was all a lie. She was doing it herself.
She can blow dry her
What?
hair
She
that
was doing
good.
it. So that we walked in and everyone was like, oh, she's had a team in, but then we had a conversation about it, and she genuinely was in
Doing
there
it
blow
herself.
drying her hair. She did everything herself.
I thought she
Oh
had
my
glam
God.
slipping through the back door.
Because
Yeah.
that's what we thought. We were like, oh, it's Sharon Osbourne. Of course she. Like, do you get me? It's
Yeah.
like, let her do it. Do you get me?
Yeah,
But
I would,
it was-
yeah.
But yeah, she didn't see anyone. The whole not 3 weeks, but the whole 8 days, I think she was in 7 days, she didn't see a soul apart from all of us.
Wow.
And then the funny thing was as well, she had a phone in her room, and like, she obviously...
To the outside world.
No, there wasn't a real phone. But they put a phone in there, and it looked like it was a real phone, but she was like, no, it doesn't
Using
work.
it.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
that
a
would
fake
actually
phone.
drive me demented knowing
Oh
it's
my
not even
God,
working.
soft to it. I genuinely, no shade, I couldn't give a someone gave her a pedicure, a manicure, a blow dry.
Literally.
You're Sharon Osbourne, do you know?
Yeah,
I'll go in there and
100%.
blow dry her hair for her. I genuinely thought she was getting blood, because there were certain
'Cause we
points
all
I
thought-
was thinking, she looks credible.
No,
Do you know?
yeah.
She's
She walks
camera
in-
ready, she understood the assignment. you know what I mean?
Because she would walk in for like a cup of tea or coffee, like at say like when we all just woken up and I'm in my Udi, my frog headband, like why am I awake this early? And then she would walk in like in this like nice silk like pajamas, and then she would go away for like 30 minutes, and she'd come back and we'd all be like, God, does she have a glam squad in there? And she was like, no, I've just learned it over the time. And we're like, either she's lying or she's got the skills. But
Oh
I
my
100% think she's definitely got the skills.
She's
What
got
was the
skills.
rules when it come to Mrs O's room? Could you all go and knock for her? Or when Sharon's in her room, don't bother her?
So the door of the diary room is here. We obviously have to press a button if we want to go in there, or most of the time we get called in there if there's an event that's happening in the day and they want us to talk through it. So there's door, diary room button that not many of us press, like we'd always get called. So that's always locked unless you get asked to go through there. And then through there is the task room where you saw like the kissing booth or
yeah.
like us eating the gross food.
Yeah.
And then next to that is the diary room, and then front of that is Sharon's room, which I never saw. I've never been in there.
Oh, so you
she
couldn't
was
just go
old,
and give her a
no.
ratty
You
tat
could
tat.
not.
She
But
was away from the riffraff.
to make sure.
But I feel like when Louis started walking towards there, they were like, unlock? Yes,
Yeah.
Louis can go in there.
Oh, yeah, Louis was allowed in there.
But this is what I want to ask, because I think we spoke about this a
Yeah.
couple of weeks ago. Now, obviously, you've lived with this guy for weeks.
Yeah.
Bless his heart. I think we spoke, I don't know if it was
Yeah.
on camera or off, but I wasn't sure if he understood what the gig was at one point.
Yeah.
I think he thought when he was in Sharon's room, and this is all just my opinion,
Yeah.
I don't think, bless his heart, he thought he was being filmed, because the
didn't.
things he was saying,
He definitely
he was
didn't know.
spilling so much tea and talking so much.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So
Like-
did he tell you that he didn't think he was being
Oh my
filmed
God,
in
we were
Sharon's room?
sat in the living room at one point. It was like me, David, Nikita, Colson, and Louis, and we were all just talking about random stuff. And he was like, and then he said something, and we're like, oh, and then he goes, but it's not getting filmed, is it? And we're like, it's 24 hours, Louis. Louis is 24 hours. Like, I don't think he understood that he was always being filmed. And then sometimes he would go like this, and you're like, Louis, they can still probably hear you.
Oh
There's,
my
there's
God.
cameras everywhere.
I love it.
But I loved living with Louis. I thought he was so funny. And I feel like it was like all of us obviously knew what we were getting into, so seeing him going, like, having no idea. And there was one point where we'd be like, he would wake up and he'd be like, so what's happening today? And then he'd like point at like Nikita or Colson or me or David and be like, you know what's happening today. And we're like, Louis, none of us know.
Oh my
And
God.
I think at one point he thought that we all knew what was going but him. It was like the only person that knew what was going on, didn't know what was going on was him. And we're like, Louis, we have no idea what's going on. We're just
I would have
waking up.
totally made up a fake day for Louis. I would have been like, right, Louis, at 10 o'clock, you have to do all the wash up. Then you have to
my
make us
God.
all breakfast and lunch. But, you know, Louis had like the biggest of all turnarounds on that show.
my God,
Like,
yeah.
I feel like he was kind of hated at the begining because he was very vocal. And we're not actually used to seeing that anymore on TV
No.
when people keep on, you know, name dropping
Yeah,
and like
100%.
spilling the tea. It's great television, like really good. But then I think people started to notice if Louis was taken out of that equation, it like you were all brilliant, but you wouldn't get the juicy stories and stuff.
He had a different energy.
He had a different
Yeah.
energy, and he was bringing it, and he was like not afraid of being cancelled.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because he
Which
didn't
was
know
a-
he was being filmed,
Yeah.
to be fair.
He would be like,
the
"Wait, was
geezer
that
thought he
filmed?"
was just in like a green room or like in someone's like after party.
Honestly, totally. And then I think social media noticed that like this guy is obviously genuine.
Yeah.
So then they kind of turned and started to like him. And I was the same. I was literally on that little wave with
Yeah.
Louis. And now I kind of like him. I'm like, you
I know,
know what?
I loved
It's
him
great,
in there,
yeah.
especially like obviously I don't know like behind the scenes like conversations, but a lot of the time he would say what he feels. He'd be like, "Shut up, David. Shut up, Bradley." Like it would be like, very open. But then I don't know what gets shown, but like we'd be singing for him, and then he'd be like, "I love you guys, really." Like he would like mouth, he would, like,
Bless him.
it was one of those like he would have a hate-love relationship with everyone. Like
Yeah.
he loved everyone, but also hated everyone, and it was like he was just there for a
Yeah.
good experience, and I feel like. He did when he came out. He was like, "I'm ready to go home, but I don't regret doing it, and I've loved
Amazing.
doing
Oh,
it." And
that's nice.
he was a very good person to have in the house, a different energy, and very thankful he was
Babe,
there.
I've got time for one more quick. It goes so quick, Access All Areas. And again, thank you so much for coming in,
Thank
babe. I'll
you for
get that
having
in
me.
there before the show ends. But I've got to ask, you get that far into it, and then you get rap party. Who was the most trashed at the rap party?
See, with the rap party, someone asked me this the other day. It was like, realistically, we finished, I think, at like maybe midnight, 1 o'clock. We got there, and then we had to leave. So it was like, because obviously we got to the rap party, and then everyone's been there for a while. So none of the cast really saw much of each other at the rap party. So I think, no, we couldn't really see who was the most trashed, but... I mean, if I don't remember, then I guess I was.
Oh, was a sign of a good night.
Yeah.
Was there a couple of
Sign.
Jaeger bombs going round?
Yes, couple of
Jaeger
Colson got me a
bombs.
drink.
Yes, we love
And
it.
to sum it all up, you had a great experience.
Oh
then.
my God, so good.
You were
yes.
brilliant, by the way.
And
It
we're
was so
already
good.
planning, a good trip together,
Group
a holiday
chat?
all together.
Great.
Already a group
what's
chat.
that?
Is Louis
going.
in the group chat?
He's not yet. So
Get him
it's
in.
pending. It's pending.
I was
Gotta
going to
get
ask
him
for his
in.
number.
Oh, thank you so much again for coming in.
Yeah,
It's
thank you
been
for
an
having me.
absolute pleasure. Thank you, Miss Ellen.
Thank you.
Amazing show. Guys, thank you so much for listening. And back next week. Take care.